Chapter 1. Konoha's 60th year, graduation season. Mingjing. Hinata caught up from behind and walked side by side with Gu Mingjing. At the gate of ninja school, two girls gathered together. Mingjing came very early today, Hinata said. I'm not saying you came late, Mingjing, before. Gu Mingjing smiled. Today is the graduate information session, so of course you have to come early. No wonder Hinata said that. In the past, Gu Mingjing always entered the classroom only 1 second earlier than Mr. Irika. It was teacher Irika who couldn't bear to deliberately slow her down a few steps, so she caught up without being late. The two of them were walking in the corridor. Gu Mingjing pointed at Hinata's neck. You are wearing it here. Very cute. Xia Waluo teased her without sparing any effort, which indeed made the thin-skinned girl blush. Hinata looked at the forehead protector Gu Mingjing had been holding in his hand. Why isn't Mingjing wearing it? I haven't decided where to wear it yet. Waluo suddenly had an idea and tied it loosely around her neck 3 times or 2, just like Hinata. Does it look good? Waluo asked, tilting her head, and her eyes were as bright as if they were filled with stars. Gu Mingjing is 12 years old this year, and her facial features have not yet fully grown, but she can already see the exquisite beauty that cannot be described in words. The poetic charm of 10,000 Flowers Valley can be seen from the corners of her eyebrows, which is completely different from the youthful or cheerful appearance of girls of this age. The sound of wow could be heard in the corridor. Hinata's face turned red after being watched by so many people. She hurried into the classroom, followed by Waluo, who had succeeded in flirting with a girl. Waluo was very happy. Ever since that boy appeared, Hinata hadn't shown such a cute look for a long time. The classroom was very lively, and most of the people had arrived. Waluo looked and found her target in the first row, and walked over. Inosuke, good morning. Good morning, Mirror. Inosuke is a boy with braids. He is kind and laughs, and he gets along well with Waluo. Nwanwan always does some weird things recently. Waluo was very melancholy. Mysterious dubbing. Don't stare at Sasuke. Hey, is it still drying the rats? Mysterious voiceover. Sasuke, teach that guy a lesson. It's no longer in the sun. It started to secretly drink wine. There's a big jar. Waluo glanced at him. Garixian thought it was me who drank it, but a drunk squirrel poured out of the jar. Inosuke heard this with interest. No! He stood up and changed his position. When he bumped into someone, he turned around and said, sorry. There was silence. Waluo stroked her forehead and poked Inosuke. Look back. Naruto squatted on the table in front of Sasuke. The two were very close, and Inosuke pushed him inadvertently. The Uchiha little Uchiha and the Uzumaki tabby cat started kissing. Kissed. Already. Seeing the two people suddenly separated, each holding his neck and retching, Waluo couldn't help but smile, but Inosuke said worriedly, Is it my fault? The girls in the class had big hash marks on their foreheads, and the black energy was about to break through the sky. The leader, Haruno Sakura, cracked the bones of her hands and said, Naruto, I'm talking about you. When Uzumaki Naruto saw something bad, he quickly explained, Accident. This is an accident. Shut up. Inosuke and Waluo turned their heads in tacit agreement. Oh, that picture is so beautiful that I dare not look at it, Sigma. During this period, Inosuke's feelings for the Holy Mother began to overflow again. Sure enough, it's my fault. If it weren't for me, they wouldn't have. Inosuke, you have to know that for creatures like women, if they think something is wrong, it is wrong, and others cannot correct it. Oh, that's it. Thank you, Mingjing. If you hadn't told me, I would have made mistakes when interacting with people in the future. Waluo said without any shame, Where? Inosuke said, Naruto, is this really okay? It seemed like he was in pain. It's a fight or a fight? It turns out that Mingjing knows a lot, _ Thank you, V. Smiley face. V. The Hokage's office at this moment. The Sandaime looked through the crystal ball and said, "Naruto, this kid is still so good at making trouble. And Ming Jing, what are you teaching blindly?" The female ninja with black hair and red eyes said, "It's not nonsense." After the farce, Irika-sensei finally arrived. "From today on, you will be your own ninjas, but you're just novice genin. The real test is yet to come. You will work in groups of 3 and perform tasks under the guidance of a jounin teacher. In order to balance the strength of each group, teachers will divide you into groups." After Mr. Irika finished speaking, he took out the list and began to announce it. The little girl in the first row propped her chin up, looking a little lost. Inosuke sitting next to her poked her arm. "What's wrong?" "I was thinking that if there are 3 people in a group, you, me, and Hinata will not be assigned to one group." Sure enough, Teacher Irika read. Then the second group, Inosuke Aso, Jiro Shibasaki, and Akira Tani. Gu Mingjing was born without loved JPG. Evenly distributed in strength, Inosuke's score was second only to Sasuke, second in the class, and it was impossible to be in the same group as Hinata, who was also in the top 5. Now, among the 3, Inosuke has the best results, Shibasaki Jiro is second, and Tani Mingjing is the worst. In this way, Naruto is the last one, and Gu Mingjing is the second last one. She had such poor grades, but had such a pretty face. She was often called a vase, so Inosuke and Hinata were the only 2 people in the class who had a good relationship with her. Hinata also helped her learn about ninjas and the history of the ninja world, and she was like a little angel. She couldn't help but look back at Hinata. At this time, the teacher was reporting the members of the 7th group: Uzumaki Naruto, Haruno Sakura, and Uchiha Sasuke. Then I saw something obvious on Hinata's face. Naruto is from another group. The disappointment is self-evident, but Hinata, I am also in another group. Look at me again, cack. As expected, it couldn't have been more right to let the swirling tabby cat get beaten up. Sigma. After the daily show of affection between the big cat and the little fan was over, the teacher announced that he would introduce the jounin teacher in the afternoon and dismiss them for now. Inosuke went to the playground to practice shuriken, while Kero hugged Hinata and rubbed her in various ways. Mingjing, I can't breathe. I'm sorry. Gu Mingjing let go of her. My heart bleeds when I think of the 2 places being separated from each other in the future. Hinata's cheeks turned red again, and when she looked at her friends Kiba and Shino, she suddenly felt as if she had been stuffed with a mouthful of dog food. They are women. They're only 12 years old. Since Hinata wanted to communicate with her friends, Gu Mingjing left after seeing the 2 of them. Yu was quite unhappy. She didn't want to see us. No. Mingjing is just not good at talking. He himself was not good at talking, but he defended Mingjing. Kiba thought about it for a moment. That person was more lively only in front of Hinata and Inosuke, and he also smiled at others, but just like what the book said, the smile hung on his lips, but did not reach his eyes. When Mingjing found Inosuke, he was practicing shuriken. He threw 5 shurikens at once. 4 of them hit the target, and all of them were bullseyes. Mingjing was about to go out, but an uninvited guest got there first. That was Shibasaki Jiro. I'm not playing any companionship game with you, as long as you don't hold me back. He said this arrogantly, and left after saying that. Then he saw Mingjing walking over, and he snorted coldly. He didn't even want to say a word about such a vase. What he didn't expect was that Gu Mingjing walked directly towards Inosuke as if he couldn't see him. When you came to my house at noon today, Jalixiang asked, "What do you want to eat? Curry? Tonkatsu noodles." "Don't bother, I'll do it myself." "Are you going to reject me? Are you going to reject Jalixiang?" Gu Mingjing's smile made people sweat. "Are you going to offend 2 women at the same time?" "No, Curry, thank you." "Good." Seeing that they didn't take him seriously at all, Jiro couldn't bear it. "You 2 are too arrogant." 5 shurikens flew out. Inosuke quickly dodged, and Mingjing bent down to pick up a stone and threw it out, hitting the first one, hitting the second one, changing the trajectory of the third one, blocking the fourth one, knocking down the fifth one. All of them landed. The strength, angle, and calculation are all perfect. Jiro was shocked and speechless. The wind blew Gu Mingjing's hair, and his vaguely exposed eyes shone with the sparkling waves of the silver moonlight shining on the lake. Just one look at it could make people lose the courage to stand. The next second, these eyes curved into crescent moons. Classmate, the school does not allow the use of iron ninja tools. Please take the initiative to find the teacher to admit your mistakes. After she finished speaking, she left with her friends, and her conversation could still be heard. Ding Jing, you are so amazing. Really, haha. On the same spot, Jiro suddenly knelt on the ground. He didn't know whether it was because of fear or something, but he punched the ground with his fist. Damn it. Chapter 2. You were hit hard, young man. A casual voice came, and Jiro looked along the voice. A man in ninja costume leaned against the tree and greeted him. He had been there for a long time, which meant that he had seen all the embarrassing scenes. It's nothing. There's no shame in losing to the Uchiha family's unique shuriken secret technique. This ninja had short black hair and a centipede-like scar from under his left eye across the bridge of his nose to the tip of his right eyebrow. He looked extremely scary. He said it without shame, but there was a hint of mockery in his tone. Jiro gritted his teeth. The Uchiha clan has been wiped out for a long time, and there are only 2 people who can do that. How did she do it? Very good. You caught the point, and it's not too stupid, he replied slowly. I don't know. Maybe it was the Uchiha orphan who taught her this? After all, both of them are so popular and good-looking. What on earth do you want to do? I have nothing to do. I'm leaving. Jiro was about to leave with a cold face, but stopped for a word. The ninja said, Are you so willing to be defeated by the tail of the crane? I didn't lose, Jiro shouted. The ninja spread his hands. Isn't this an obvious thing? You can't dodge for shuriken. I heard that the child's grades are not good. It seems that he has been hiding it for a long time. You are still complacent about being better than others. TSK, TSK. The child lost his voice for a moment. In fact, he had been severely beaten by Gu Mingjing just now. He was just trying to hold on when talking to this ninja. After saying these few words, he was hit 20,000 points by understanding. At the age of 12, his self-esteem and inferiority complex were equally strong, and he almost collapsed. The ninja took a few steps closer, looked at him carefully, and suddenly shouted exaggeratedly, Hey, 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 I just said these few words, and you're going to cry. Jiro turned around and ran, bumping into the ninja, who suddenly appeared in front of him. The ninja held his shoulders and said, Why are you running? I'm here to help you. Help me? Why? Jiro was a little stupid. He didn't know why the person who was laughing at him one moment said he wanted to help the next moment. The ninja touched his head, but his gentle movements said chilling words. I can't see Uchiha, not even similar ones. I can't move that orphan, but this is fine. After he finished speaking, he smiled and said, How about it? I'm very honest with you. We each get what we need. Only then did Jiro realize that this man actually looked very good-looking when he smiled. Even the scar could add a lot of charm, and there was a kind of imperfect beauty that made people's eyes brighten. Tell me, what should I do? Watching the child go away, the ninja suddenly looked at a certain window on the first floor of the teaching building. There was nothing there, but a woman's mature voice came from behind. You are bullying the students again. Why do you like to compete with Kakashi so much? The ninja smiled but said nothing. In the afternoon, Gu Mingjing and Inosuk returned to school after lunch. The 2 of them walked in the corridor, stepping step by step on the shadows cast on the ground, looking warm and harmonious. Look, I don't have much energy. Gu Mingjing complained to Inosuk while holding Squirrel, who was still drunk and still awake. Inosuk touched the little squirrel's ears and said, If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I wouldn't have believed that squirrels could drink. Gu Mingjing, now you should believe it. If it was awake, it would definitely not let you touch its ears like this. Recalling the experience of being tickled by Nuan Nuan, Inasuk smiled sheepishly, who made the little squirrel's ears so soft that it made people want to touch them. Gu Mingjing was smiling, but suddenly stopped and looked around the corner. A man walked out from the corner. He was wearing a navy blue high-collared top, dark shorts, and a handsome, slightly cold face, which is a girl's favorite look. Gu Mingjing could still restore the Chuanfan clan emblem on his back in his mind. It has been so long since the night of the kidney stabbing that even the instigator no longer wore the clan emblem. Only this young man persisted in wearing it like this. Hualuo. What do you mean by a small round fan? I said that I can't read the meaning from your complicated eyes at all. Inasuk, you go to the classroom first. I have something to say with little Sasuke-sen. We could only help Inasuk away first. Inasuk always listened to Gu Mingjing's words, nodded, and left. When passing by Sasuke, he said sincerely, Sasuke-kun, you have to calm down and don't hit girls. Sasuke. Hualuo stroked his forehead, feeling infinitely tired. Naturally, she finally walked away with 3 steps and turned back. Hualuo looked at Xiao Tuanfan, who told her exactly what she saw. Is that so? Is he going to deal with us? Gu Mingjing was not very surprised after hearing this. Sasuke looked at her for a while and asked, Aren't you angry? Hualuo. What's there to be angry about? If someone close to me wants to deal with me, I will definitely be sad, but Shibasaki Jiro is not heavy enough. She said it calmly, just like the way she knocked down Jiro's shuriken and gently warned him to admit his mistake to the teacher. Sasuke? Hualuo stretched out her hand and waved it in front of him. Sasuke came back to his senses and didn't know why he turned sideways and didn't look at her. He suddenly remembered something. Who taught you how to use your shuriken? He's an Uchiha who doesn't keep his word. Shursui? Gu Mingjing's eyes widened. Just when Sasuke was wondering if she was sad when he mentioned this person, she suddenly smiled and said, When I mentioned the untrustworthy Uchiha, you thought of Shursui. Sasuke, have you forgotten that you scolded him for 3 hours with this? Hualuo. Is it okay to mention this again? These past events were like lubricants, repairing the relationship at a speed that Gu Mingjing could not imagine, as if they had never been estranged for so many years. Maybe it's because we share the same pain that we can understand each other better. Don't worry, I will definitely kill that man. I will take revenge for my clan, for my parents, and for Shursui. Hualuo. Why did the painting style suddenly change? But I don't want to get on your boat. Sasuke left after saying that, and Gu Mingjing also understood what he meant. Although Shursui left a suicide note, many people believed that Itachi killed Shursui. Sasuke believed Itachi. But after the night of the kidney stabbing, Sasuke obviously pinned this crime on Itachi. Why can't a man who slaughtered his entire clan to test the power of the Mangekyo kill his best friend for the Mangekyo Sharingan? Sasuke probably thought so. Hualuo returned to the classroom and opened the system panel. The task of kidney stabbing night was only 10% progressed, and she got a fragment of the truth. It said that the conflict between Konoha and Uchiha was increasingly intensifying, and it was no longer possible to reconcile it with words, and could only be resolved with a coup or bloody suppression. Shursui's death, Itachi stabbed the whole clan, must not be as simple as it seems. It cannot be resolved by Sasuke killing Itachi. Hualuo closed the panel. In fact, this mission was originally called Tragedy Night, but after the system was updated, it became a convulsive kidney stabbing night. Hualuo looked more pleased with the tragedy and called it that way. After a while, only Class 2 and Class 7 were left. Naruto moved closer to Sakura. Do you think they are weird? Is there anything weird? Looking at Inasuk and Tanny Mingjing, who were bullying the little squirrel, Sakura turned around and said, Stop meddling in your own business, Naruto. It had already passed the time, but the teachers of the 2 classes hadn't come yet. Naruto stuck an eraser on the door and stood on the bench with a proud smile. Sakura made a dissatisfied sound. Naruto said, "Who made him late?" Sakura looked helpless and said, "Really, I don't care what happens." But if it's our teacher?" Inosuke raised his hand weakly. Naruto laughed, walked to him, and patted his shoulder. It's okay. He is late anyway." "No, I mean our teacher should be taught a lesson by us." Inosuke stood up. "I'm quite good at setting traps. Leave it to me." Crack. Inosuke's side face was slapped on the table, and a white hand pressed on his head to prevent him from moving. "I'm sorry. It's time for him to drink the medicine." Sakura and Naruto watched in horror as Inosuke struggled feebly under Hualuo's hands, and then looked at the gentle and calm look of Hualuo and took 3 steps back. Hualuo didn't take it seriously, and took out a water bottle and put it to his mouth. "You can't stop taking the medicine." Ugh! The screams echoed throughout the building, and the birds were frightened and flew up. This scene made Kakashi-sensei, who fell for Naruto's joke, lose his mood. Hashtag, so it turns out that I have been in the same class with such terrible people all these years. Hashtag. Hashtag Inosuke is so strong. Hashtag. Hashtag a group of super idiots. Hashtag. The 3 of them took turns to be screened. Kakashi pointed to Hualuo's kettle. "What is this?" "Honey water." Hualuo screwed on the lid of the pot and looked at Kakashi with a probing look. "But this teacher, have we met somewhere?" Chapter 3. It's night, and the full moon hangs high. Gu Mingjing opened the bedroom door, lit the lamp, sat at the desk, and took out a book borrowed from the library to read. Although the teacher of Class 7 was late, he came anyway, but the teacher of Class 2 was directly told that he was speechless and would meet somewhere at 4 o'clock tomorrow. That place was the former Uchiha clan's territory, but it is now completely blocked. And that's Shibasaki Jiro. "Mingjing, come down for dinner." Julie Xiang's voice came from downstairs. Mingjing agreed, put away his things, and went downstairs. Jalixiang is a handyman at the izakaya, but she is just like Gu Mingjing's sister. After her mother died in this life, Jalixiang has been taking care of her in every possible way, without asking for anything in return. Mingjing seems to be worried. Doesn't he even have interest in his favorite fish roe? Julie Xiang asked with a smile. Xia Hualuo ate her food with a few chopsticks, picked up the soup, and drank it with a tilt of her neck. "No, I have a good appetite today." After eating, she finished washing the dishes with her chopsticks. "I'm going back to my room." Julie Xiang blinked. "So, I still have something to worry about. Didn't I say in the past that fish roe should be eaten slowly?" But she didn't want to interfere with Mingjing's affairs. The child had been very independent since he was a child, so she didn't need to worry about it. Gu Mingjing opened the window and soon disappeared into the night. As expected, she still cared about Sasuke's words. The ninja asked Jiro to meet him at Hokage Rock tonight, so she should go and have a look too. However, there is no place to hide on the Hokage Rock. Gu Mingjing is a disciple of Wanhua sect and does not have such a powerful trick as invisibility. He formed a hand seal and turned into a crow squatting on the 4th generation's head.